Let's bring in our first guest today, Mr. Woods from Roosevelt High. How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Mr. Woods, what's your first name?
Richard is my first name.
I'm going to call you Richard from now on.
That sounds
okay?
great.
Richard, what do you do over at Roosevelt High?
I am the vocal music director, and that's my title. I have 5 choirs of varying difficulty levels and an advanced vocal technique class as well.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
This will be my 8th year.
Okay. And so what makes you the guy to teach these kids how to sing?
I was very fortunate to start my musical career here in Fresno. I was introduced to opera and then had the unique pleasure of going to Juilliard in New York and then pursue an operatic career for about a dozen years there.
You're an opera singer?
I am an opera singer.
Rip one off. Let's hear it.
Don Giovanni a cena teca.
That was pretty good.
Not bad for first thing in the morning, huh?
For a guy that learned his opera from Looney Tunes, I can tell you that was very, very good. I felt like going like this. Now, so tell us about your program over there.
Well, the School of the Arts is a magnet in Fresno, and we get some of the most talented kids to come from all over the valley and beyond who want to have a career in the arts. And because of that, we have some of the finest talent around. We do several fully staged productions. The other neat thing about the School of the Arts is it's all sort of run by the students. We build all the sets, we make the costumes, we do all of the technical aspects of it. So the kids leave there with a real great experience that prepares them to go and tackle the professional world, and they usually are well ahead of the curve when they leave our rigorous program.
Okay, I'm not from Fresno, but Roosevelt High is thought of as a little bit of a rougher high school, but you have this art program that's very renowned.
Right.
How did this all come together?
Well, this is our 31st year, I believe, and I'm not sure what the impetus for making this magnet was initially, but I know one of the first graduating classes had an alumni of Audra McDonald, who surely you've heard of. Who
she's done quite well.
Just won her 6th or 7th Tony, sixth Tony, and I think the program is sort of the same as that initial design was, which is again to have the students do every part of it, and it's just evolved, and we have a terrific staff there that is really talented and active in the community, and we can pass that real life experience onto our students, so we're not necessarily just talking in theory. We've been there, we've lived the dream, and now we're helping prepare them for their chance to do the same.
Well, and it's just not singing. It's all different kinds of art.
Every element of the arts is involved. You're going to hear a little later from some of the drama teachers and maybe even the dance lead teacher that I brought today, but we also have a vast instrumental program. We have a visual arts program. Everything in regards to the arts we offer at that school.
Awesome. Now you brought some video with you today.
I did. I had the pleasure last year of creating a new recruitment video. We had one we were using for a dozen years or so, and we wanted to bring something a little more current. And it is on YouTube. You can access it from RooseveltSchoolOfTheArts.org is our website, and it really just kind of shows the magic. I could tell you about it, but picture's worth 1,000 words, and this is no exception.
Okay, well, let's take a look at it right now.
Thank you.
School of the Arts.
School of the Arts is a unique program that combines the arts with traditional high school courses. My name is Kat, and I'm a student director here in my 4th year at RSA. Roosevelt is one of only a few schools to be the recipient of the honored Kennedy Center Creative Ticket. We've been rated as one of the top 5 art schools in the United States.
I'm Julissa Hernandez. I'm a student at RSA, and you should be too.
The vocal music department has offerings for seniors of all levels. We perform a variety of repertoire from festival to pop to Broadway.
So long ago, it's a certain time, a certain place.
Our advanced groups consistently earn superior ratings at festival competitions. Singing at a high level is the norm, but here at Roosevelt, we put an equal focus on performance. All of our concerts are collaborative efforts with full band accompaniment and student choreography.
How about you? For the eyes. Come on, front, right here now, don't be shy.
Unique to Roosevelt is the practice of developing individual solo voices. Advanced vocal technique prepares us to gain admittance into the top music programs and conservatories in the country. Not to mention, choir is really fun.
Very impressive. It looks like Glee.
Yes, well, we're certainly inspired by Glee, and that's that was one of our students being silly there in the background. But, you know, Glee and shows like that have really brought back vocal music into popularity and has done wonders for bringing the numbers back up. And usually at the first part of the year we do festival music, and we go and we compete in various festivals, because a lot of the kids at the collegiate level will do that type of music, and I want them to be exposed to that and appreciate a variety of genres. But more importantly, they want to do the kind of things they see on TV. And they can still learn all of the same lessons by doing stuff. And for our audience, that's what they want to see too. So,
but you said this is a recruitment video.
Right.
Who are you showing this video to?
Well, it's just been made. We're going to send it to all the middle schools. We have recruitment nights where parents that are considering coming come and see some of the performances.
Can we call it
Get to talk
something
to the
else?
teachers. Sure.
Other than recruitment night?
Got any suggestions?
I don't know. It sounds like you're going to ROTC or something. You're gonna
Well, the program is as rigorous as any ROTC program is. I
bet
promise
it
you
is.
that. The kids, if they can get through that program, the rest of their life will be easy, because it really is a 12-hour-a-day, 6 days a week commitment for a lot of these kids for 4 years.
So these kids are going early in the morning and staying way after school.
Yep.
Sometimes
And
into the evenings.
And Saturdays too, building sets, and like I said, they do it all. So it's
amazing. Now, for
terrific.
those of you who haven't experienced the auditorium at Roosevelt High School, it's amazing. Now, you said that you guys are very active in the community. How's the community treat you guys?
Well, I think we're always very well received. Our groups are very high quality, and like I said, I go out of my way to pick repertoire that's going to be attractive, to really emphasize the performance element of the school. And I mentioned that we're one of the only places that takes the time to develop solo artists, because a lot of the other schools are doing festival type music all year long, which is wonderful, but it doesn't necessarily allow those kids that want to go into the profession to get the care that they need, and that's the Roosevelt difference.
Is there, can kids that are watching right now, or parents that are watching right now, can they just come by and check it out?
Sure. Just call the school, ask to be connected to the School of the Arts office, and we do things called walk-alongs or shadowing, where a kid will come and will travel from class to class with a student that has a similar interest to their own, and really get a feel for it. So yes, we have that all the time.
Now, the reason you're here today is because Kinsey Rose is here.
That's right.
They sucked you in.
They did.
Okay, so,
Thank goodness for that.
Your relationship with her is just starting.
It's just starting. I met her several months ago. She expressed some interest in coming into the program, and I said, hey, call me this summer and let's get a head start so you can hit the ground running when you get there. And we've had an opportunity to work several times, and I've given her a little assistance preparing for this show here. And as you all know, she has amazing potential. And what I'm excited for you to see is 4 years from now, to see what we take her, who has terrific potential and raw talent, what we can do with that in 4 years is an amazing journey. And some of those students we saw in the video started out just like her and leave the program ready to tackle the world and be huge successes.
Mr. Richard Woods, Roosevelt High School.
Thank you very
much for coming by. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but not before you take us out with some more opera.
Okay, gosh, what would I say?
Hit it.
A te estremo a Dio,
Stick around. Let's bring in our next guest. More people from Roosevelt. Okay, who do we have here?
Saima Trio.
Saima Trio.
Patrick Tromborg.
Patrick Tromborg. And what do you folks do over at Roosevelt?
Well, I do the dance department. I'm in charge of the dance department over there, and so ballet, tap, jazz, Hmong dance, hip hop, all that stuff.
Now, that's a lot of different dance styles.
We are
right?
very broad. Yes, we try to touch on everything. We even have a theater movement class that kind of integrates juggling and tumbling and all that stuff too.
Okay, and you, sir?
And I teach acting. Well, there's others that teach acting as well. My compatriot over there, and I also teach stagecraft and set design and lighting and that sort of thing.
You know, this is all amazing to me, and I'm sure there's people out there that are listening and going, all this stuff goes on out at Roosevelt High School? I had no idea.
It's true, and you mentioned earlier that, that Roosevelt does have this reputation of being a rough school that is from 40 years ago. It's really a very safe school, and it's a beautiful campus. We've got brand new buildings and brand new paint jobs, and we, again, being that we are a Roosevelt School of the Arts performing magnet, we have performances of professional quality, even though they're high school kids, professional quality open to the public year-round. We do stage plays, we do dance shows, we do music shows, vocal shows that, I would love to get more people to just come down and see what we do and get entertainment in the process.
Well, this auditorium that you guys work with is state-of-the-art.
Yes, it is.
And how many people does that hold?
About 2,200.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Now, folks that frequent the Tower Theater here in the Tower District, it holds 716. And we're talking 2,200 seat auditorium right there at Tulare.
And when you
Cedar.
pack that place, it's an amazing experience.
And you guys do that, don't you?
We have, yes.
Now, the last time you were here, you were talking about a play that you guys were doing.
The last time you and I
Yeah.
was here? Yeah, that was last year. We did The Cripple of Inishmaan,
Right.
which was an Irish show. This year we're doing The Good Doctor, which is a Neil Simon piece, very funny. And then we're doing Into the Woods, which is a Stephen Sondheim favorite and also phenomenal performance.
Well, let's get back to you and
Yeah.
your dancing. Are you from Fresno?
Yep, born and raised.
Born and raised
Yeah.
in Fresno, and you've been a dancer since you've been a child?
Yeah, I studied with Kate Magaki, who does a lot of plays for Roger Rakas and a lot of choreography.
You know, we had
Roger.
Roger here himself a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
that's pretty cool.
It was
Awesome.
very, was
Yeah.
very cool.
He's very tall.
He's very tall. He's like a giant.
Yeah.
Now, so you started dancing. Did you start the regular tap, ballet,
I started
jazz?
like, any normal 3-year-old ballet and jazz combination class. And then, I just kept going and I loved it. And I went away to college, studied there, and I didn't actually major in it, but it's always been my heart. So, yeah.
Well, how lucky do you feel to be able to take something that you've loved since 3 years old and be able to get paid for it in a teaching role?
It's beyond amazing. I can wake up every day happy going to work. So it's, not many people can be happy about their job, and we are.
And how many kids are in the dancing part of this?
It's probably, I think it is probably the largest amount of kids. I think there's probably
No kidding. Now,
300.
I wouldn't have guessed that the dancing would have been the largest group.
Well, we have 7 dance teachers alone. So there's about 300 plus kids that take it. And not just School of the Arts magnet kids. It's also the kids that are at Roosevelt High School.
And there's a lot of kids that take dance that also take theater,
yeah.
that are also musicians as well.
Triple threats.
And also sing.
Yeah.
There's it's
Triple
a lot
threats?
of crossover.
Triple threats.
that's what you call
Absolutely,
it?
triple
Now,
threats.
you say you have 7 dance instructors,
Correct.
and my mind immediately goes to, who's funding this? Where do you? Why?
Well,
why do
you are.
I understand, but let's talk about how come Roosevelt has this where other schools don't.
Well,
Because it's a magnet program,
yeah,
for one.
it is a magnet program. It was started back in the 80s, and almost all high schools have some sort of arts program. But back in the 80s, they decided that at Roosevelt they would create this magnet school to really focus it and train kids not just in the general arts, but to actually be professional artists. As Richard Woods was saying earlier, to take their skills and actually go out into the world and use it. And we have all kinds of students alumni that go on and become professionals. Most of our teachers, our dance teachers, are professionals outside of school as well.
Well, it all strikes me as just so amazing because, living in other parts of California, Fresno's not looked upon as this big art community. But now that I've lived here for many years, I see that that it's exactly the opposite.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a huge city, and we have lots of art here. Again, not just, we haven't even mentioned our visual art program, and which is, those kids go on and end up being contributors to Art Hop and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's an amazing program, and it gets to support. You asked about funding. It gets the support and funding from the district and from the state and from donors like you. We're going to ask you to write a check a little later.
Do we have locals that are donating to the?
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. It happens all the time. Yeah, people come down and see our shows and become inspired. Our superintendent, Mike Hansen, a few years ago came down and watched the show and wrote out a personal check at the end of it and said, keep doing what you're doing. Because it not only educates kids, but it educates the community as to, things that are worthwhile.
Things that are more important than some of the things they might think are important now.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Now, you guys have a little bit of a video that you brought here, and we're going to take a little look at that right now. Billy?
RSA's departments together. It's true magic.
Wake up, look down, hear my prayer. Don't single me out, and then forget me. Oh God, lay my life. Send me to places where no one before me has been. And my life shall be mine. Take me to rise that fish in the rain, then tell me to wait. Well, I'm waiting. Wait for life to begin. Wait for life to begin.
When you consider all that Roosevelt School of the Arts has to offer, is there really any other choice?
That's pretty awesome. And I'm sitting there watching that. It just reminded me over the last 6 years how many performers I've had come through this studio that were from Roosevelt. So I would personally thank you guys for everything that you do here in the city of Fresno for the arts.
And I wanted to mention that there are more people that work professionally in the entertainment industry than in professional football, basketball, baseball, soccer, all of those the sports fields together. More people. Next time you go see a movie, look at the credits at the end. So we teach people about technical theater, behind the scenes stuff, design, fashion design, costuming. We have a huge instrumental music program where we teach musicianship. It's really the whole package, and we hope that you and everybody else will come down and watch what we do and partake of our art.
Nice. Okay, well, it's time to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to do that. But remember, you guys stick around because we still have more giveaways coming up next. Live local music. We have Kinsey Rose in the studio.